My first guest is the anchor of Sanjay Gupta, MD. It must be Sanjay Gupta, I think. He's the chief medical correspondent for CNN. Yep, it's got to be Sanjay Gupta. It's Sanjay Gupta, everyone!
It's all about marijuana.
Oh, hello, doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting, a medical man's opinion. All right.
Yeah, you know, and I decided I really wanted to approach this from a, I'm a neuroscientist, and I don't have a big dog in this race, quite frankly, but I've been.
I don't smoke it either, but I used to. I hear you.
Yeah. But it's interesting because my eyes have really been open. I've traveled literally around the world, and I have to say there's a lot of inconsistencies, hypocrisy, and things that have frankly just outright surprised me when it comes to this. You know, in this country since the late 1930s, there was this documentary that came out called Reefer Madness.
I've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it portrayed people who smoked marijuana as these, on the fringe, sex-crazed, unproductive members of society.
Still correct, yeah.
You come to find out that it was 100% funded by DuPont Chemical.
Uh-oh.
The documentary was.
Yeah.
And it got us thinking, what exactly is going on here? But suffice it to say, there was a lot of competing interests. There were a lot of people who did not want marijuana to be legalized in this country. They didn't want it legalized medicinally. They didn't want it legalized recreationally because it could compete with other things. It could compete with medicines. Hemp could compete with other products like nylon. And it was amazing to me just how much our attitudes have been cemented for 70 years in this country because of it. I was in Israel, where they're doing some of the foremost research in the world on this, and I was talking to this guy who's won the Israeli Prize in Science. He's about 80 years old, and he says, "You Americans are a bunch of prudes on this issue." And I was really, they allow people to vaporize marijuana in hospitals. They give it to people who have failed other therapies. It's quite amazing to me, and I think
the thing is with marijuana, that as far as I can make out in my limited research, it seems to me that, like marijuana, when I took marijuana, which I freely admit I took a lot when I was younger, I thought, this is actually, I don't like this. I prefer whiskey. But, or there were other Class A drugs that I did. But some people seem to really enjoy marijuana in a way that it just doesn't sink to me like that. Like gambling. Some people are really into gambling. I'm like, eh.
The hypocrisy of this is something we're going to really expose.
Yeah, it's the new hot button. It's the new gay marriage. It's like everyone's going crazy about it.
Well, you talk about, again, when I was in Israel, and they say, this 80-year-old scientist, this very legitimate scientist, say, you Americans are a bunch of prudes. And he's talking about marijuana, but he's also talking about gay marriage he brought up and how we fund things. And
if you're a gay pothead, you should go to Israel.
But I love doing these documentaries because it's like you get a mini master's degree in it. And
you're great at them too. We're out of time, unfortunately. It's a fascinating subject, but I'd like to talk to you more about it. But unfortunately, I can feel CBS get nervous. And when they notice I'm here, things go wrong.